Hello guys, it's no more a new news that Australia plans to limit international students to a very low number compared to what it is today. I mean, this could completely change the future of education in Australia. So I'm here to break this down for you to understand what this means for you today. Okay? So this is a shocking news for some who have chosen Australia as their destination. Australia plans to reduce this number to, a number which is far lesser than what they currently grant. From the post-pandemic, Australia grants over 500,000 each year, sometimes 700 and something thousand, but now they are going to reduce it to a much lower number. And I'm going to break this down for you to understand what this means, how it's going to affect you, and why you may reconsider choosing Australia as a place of destination for international students. Number one, Australia plans that from 2025, they're going to be giving 145 new students to study in Australia in universities. And they're going to grant 30,000 new students to study in other institutions all over Australia. And they will grant 95 students to study in vocational colleges and training across Australia. So this is a huge difference from the current 717 students, 500 listed and studying in Australia in 2024. In 2024, they took 717 students, 500 students. So that's a lot and a lot of difference, okay? I would like to see if I can get some of the statistics as that the fiscal year ending June 2023, Australia made $42 billion from education. Education is the second largest contributing sector to the economy in Australia apart from mining. After mining, the next is education. But for some reasons, they think that a lot of people are coming to Australia and is having more impact on immigration, and they're afraid if they could run into housing shortage, maybe issues with work regulations, and maybe some of that is I have not really analyzed to know, and they've decided to cap the number of students who will be studying in Australia. So for this reason, the government of Australia have decided that they are going to be admitting or allowing only 270 students to study in Australia in 2025, and this was the number that studies in Australia before the pandemic happened in 2019. So what does this mean? This means that there are going to be low admission granted compared to the number of applicants, which means that if 1 million people applies and they need 270, they may be giving admission to about 400,000 people. This also means that there will be high visa rejection, which means you might have gotten admission, do your proof of fund, do many things, waste 6 months, 3 months, and only for you to have your visa rejected. So if you consider these two things, it means that Australia does not seem to be your best place to target for education 2025, at least until these things are addressed. Apart from that, one more thing that could happen is that schools who used to apply for, let's say schools who used to admit about 100,000 suddenly admitted only 60,000 or even 50,000 or less. That means that those schools will be needing to fund, the institution. So the government funding may not be enough, so they may be forced to raise the school fees. Already at the moment, Australian school fees is so high, it's one of the highest, probably after US is Australia. After US is Australia. So it means that there will be an increment of school fees in Australia. So 3 things that may be a problem for you. Number 1 is difficulty to get admitted. Number 2 is difficulty to get a visa. And number 3 is facing high fee in the schools. So for me, I analyze this and I think that you may be making a plan B as per your study destination until further notice. Yes, there are definitely consequences. The funding for these institutions will be difficult. Many other challenges like those who want to do postdoctorate, followership program and other will be affected. So if you're also aiming at Australia for followership programs, be aware that now the vacancies have cut by 2, by less than 50%, or more than 50% rather. So those are all things that will result because of this decision. But then that is, by the way, they will look for a way to address, but how to address your own need. I think my suggestion and my advice is that you should be thinking of other places as your destination to study. So you may be considering Canada. Those who have said, no, I'm not going to go to Canada because Canada is having this challenge of housing. Canada is not accepting people to bring their family unless you're doing PhD or masters by research, wherever you may be considering. You may be considering UK. You may be considering Germany. I mean, if you want to study in Germany, you can do a lot of courses in English language, Malta, other study destinations, which you can look up to my previous video and see many other study destinations I've talked about. So guys, this is it about Australia. It is not currently your best place for study destination until it has been addressed. These are the challenges you may face and you need to prepare for them ahead of time. By the way, if you want to study in the UK, I can help you out with the admission process. I have a couple of guys who are registered agents with some of the universities in the UK, and I can give you an opportunity to link up with them and get this education stuff started. That's for someone who wants to go to UK anyway. But for those who don't like UK, this is not for you. I'm not an agent for any of the schools, but I have someone who is an agent who has done a couple of admission for a number of my viewers. So if you want to come, this is one of the things I do to encourage my viewers, like a bonus and a gift to you. So just reach out to me at martinfinanceoracle@gmail.com and I will link you up to a friend who will help you with this. By the way, guys, I'm going to be wrapping it up here. You've gotten my advice and I hope you're going to think about it and choose the right place for your study destination 2025. I wish you the best of luck. See you in my next video. Cheers.